The engagement announcement was just the beginning of this incredible story because what happened in the days and weeks following Selena's Instagram post revealed so much about this couple and the support system they've built around their relationship. Let me walk you through the reactions that had everyone talking and what they tell us about Selena and Benny's future together. First, let's talk about the fan reactions, because they were unlike anything I've seen for a celebrity engagement in recent memory. Usually, when a major star gets engaged, you get a mix of excitement and disappointment from fans who had their own fantasies about dating that celebrity. But with Selena and Benny, the response was overwhelmingly positive, and I think there are some really specific reasons why. Selena's fans have been on this journey with her for over a decade. They've watched her navigate very public relationships, deal with heartbreak in the spotlight, and grow into this confident, successful woman who seemed to be thriving on her own. So when she announced her engagement to someone who clearly makes her happy, fans felt like they were celebrating with a friend rather than losing their celebrity crush to someone else. But what really struck me about the fan reactions was how many people commented on how genuinely happy Selena looks with Benny. If you scroll through her Instagram posts from the past year, there's this lightness about her that fans had never seen before. She's always been beautiful and successful, but with Benny, she seems truly carefree and joyful in a way that feels authentic rather than performed. One fan comment that really stuck with me said, I've been following Selena for 10 years, and I've never seen her smile the way she smiles when she's with Benny. And when you look at their photos together, that fan isn't wrong. There's something about Selena's energy with Benny that feels effortless and genuine. She's not trying to convince anyone of anything, she's just being happy. The international fan reaction was equally incredible. Selena has fans all over the world, and seeing the congratulations pour in from different countries and cultures showed just how universal the feeling was that this engagement represented something beautiful. Fans were creating art, writing songs, making tribute videos, and generally celebrating this relationship in ways that felt organic rather than manufactured. But what really blew my mind was how Benny's fans reacted. Producer fans are a different breed. They tend to be music industry insiders, other artists, and people who understand the business side of entertainment. And the reaction from that community was incredibly telling because they were celebrating not just the personal happiness, but what this relationship represents professionally. Music industry insiders were commenting on how perfect Selena and Benny are for each other creatively. They've already produced incredible music together, they understand each other's artistic processes, and they're both at the top of their respective games. The engagement wasn't just romantic news, it was the announcement of a creative partnership that could produce some incredible art in the coming years. Now let's talk about the family reactions, because this is where you really see how solid this relationship is. When celebrity couples get engaged, you sometimes get polite family statements that feel carefully crafted by publicists. But the family reactions to Selena and Benny's engagement felt genuinely enthusiastic and personal. Selena's mom, Mandy, has been incredibly supportive of this relationship from the beginning. Remember, she's the one who originally connected Selena and Benny professionally when Selena was 16, so she's watched this friendship develop over more than a decade. In recent interviews, Mandy has talked about how much she loves seeing Selena with someone who treats her with such respect and genuine care. What's particularly sweet is that Mandy has mentioned how Benny fits into their family dynamic so naturally. He's not trying to change anything or insert himself into traditions. He's embracing the family culture that Selena comes from while bringing his own warmth and humor to family gatherings. And for someone like Selena, who is incredibly close to her family, having a partner who blends seamlessly into that dynamic is huge. Benny's family has been equally welcoming to Selena. His mother has posted about how much she adores Selena and how happy she is to see her son with someone who clearly loves and supports him. And this isn't just social media politeness. Sources close to the family say that Selena and Benny's mom have developed a genuine friendship that goes beyond just being polite for the sake of the relationship. But here's what really tells you everything you need to know about family approval. Both families were apparently involved in the proposal planning, not in an overwhelming way, but Benny made sure to get Selena's family's blessing and input before popping the question. And Selena's family was apparently just as excited about the engagement as she was, which suggests they've been hoping for this development for a while. Now let's get into the wedding planning because this is where things get really fun. Based on interviews and social media hints, Selena and Benny are approaching their wedding planning in a way that's very much them: thoughtful, collaborative, and focused on what actually matters to them rather than what makes for good headlines. First thing to know, they're not rushing into anything. Despite being incredibly excited about their engagement, they've been clear that they want to take their time planning a wedding that truly reflects their relationship and values. In recent interviews, Benny has said they haven't set a date yet, but they're enjoying the planning process and want to make sure every detail feels right. What's interesting is that they've already started having conversations about the kind of wedding they want, and it sounds like it's going to be incredibly personal and intimate. Sources close to the couple suggest they're leaning toward a smaller celebration focused on family and close friends rather than a massive celebrity spectacle. And this makes perfect sense when you think about who they are as a couple. Their relationship has been built on genuine connection and shared values rather than public attention. So it follows that their wedding would prioritize meaning over grandeur, authenticity over Instagram moments. But that doesn't mean it won't be absolutely beautiful. Both Selena and Benny have incredible taste and attention to detail, so whatever they plan is going to be stunning. It's just going to be stunning in a way that feels true to them rather than designed for public consumption. One of the most exciting wedding planning details that's emerged is the music situation. Obviously, with Benny being one of the most successful producers in the industry and Selena being a global pop star, the wedding playlist is going to be incredible. But beyond that, there's speculation that they might actually create original music for their wedding, songs written specifically for their celebration that reflect their journey together. Can you imagine having your wedding soundtrack be original songs created by you and your partner about your love story? It would be the ultimate personalization of their special day and would create these incredibly meaningful moments that no other couple could replicate. Then there's the guest list situation, which is fascinating to think about. Selena and Benny both have incredibly impressive networks in the entertainment industry, but they also have these tight knit circles of family and longtime friends who have supported them throughout their careers. Balancing those two groups while keeping the celebration intimate is going to be interesting. We already know Taylor Swift is planning to be the flower girl, which is absolutely adorable and perfect. But beyond that, you have to imagine the guest list will include some of the biggest names in music, acting, and entertainment. At the same time, both Selena and Benny seem committed to making sure their wedding feels personal rather than like an industry event. Location wise, there's been speculation about everything from destination weddings to backyard celebrations, but sources suggest they're looking for somewhere that feels private and meaningful rather than traditionally glamorous. Given how much they both value family, it wouldn't be surprising if they chose somewhere that has personal significance to their relationship or their families. What's really sweet is hearing about how involved they both are in the planning process. This isn't a situation where one person is making all the decisions while the other just shows up. Both Selena and Benny are actively participating in discussions about everything from venues to flowers to food, which speaks to how much they see this as a true partnership. And speaking of food, given how the proposal centered around Taco Bell, I wouldn't be surprised if their wedding menu includes some unconventional choices that reflect their actual preferences rather than what's traditionally served at fancy weddings. These are two people who aren't trying to impress anyone. They're trying to celebrate their love in a way that feels authentic to who they are. The timeline they're working with seems to be flexible, which is smart given how busy both of their careers are. Selena has multiple projects in development, Benny is constantly working with different artists, and they both want to make sure they can be fully present for their wedding planning and celebration, rather than squeezing it in between other commitments. But here's what's most exciting about their approach to wedding planning. They're treating it as an extension of their relationship values rather than as a separate event. Everything they're considering seems to be filtered through the question of whether it reflects who they are as a couple and what matters most to them. This approach to wedding planning is actually a perfect preview of how they're thinking about their future together, because the conversations they're having about their wedding are really conversations about the kind of life they want to build together. And when you hear about some of the specific plans they're making for their future, both personal and professional, you're going to understand why this engagement represents so much more than just two celebrities deciding to get married. This is two incredibly successful, grounded people who have found their perfect creative and life partner and are being very intentional about building something lasting together.